All right, hello, my name is Shelly and I am the creator of this channel, True Sidereal Astrology. I want to welcome you here to this video today. I want to welcome you to this space and place and welcome you to my channel in general. If you are a first-time viewer, you're a first-time coming into this space and watching this video, welcome. I hope you like my content. And for those of you who are returning subscribers, I want to thank you as always for making this channel what it is. Without you, this channel is nothing. So, my channel is dedicated to my process of moving through the transition from Western tropical astrology into true sidereal astrology. And when I talk about this transition, you know, sometimes it may seem like it's a big deal, like, oh, I'm transitioning from. It is a big deal. And I know that for many of us, especially in the spiritual community, in the healing community, energetic community, those of us who are really on a journey of personal development and deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, astrology can play a really big role in our uncovering of more of who we are. So the vast difference between Western tropical astrology and true sidereal astrology is huge. Now, if you're here and you're wondering what is true sidereal astrology, I'm going to share it with you. I know many of you know, but some you might not know, right? So I'm going to tell you. True sidereal astrology is where the planets actually are in the sky. So if you were to stand outside right now, your whatever energies you're reading would be based off where the planets actually are. So when it comes to interpreting your birth chart, it looks at your birth chart of when you were born onto the planet out of your mother's womb, where exactly the planets were in relation to your birth. Now, for many of you, and myself included in the past, I thought that was just common knowledge. That's what astrology actually was, and I was ignorant to the fact that Western tropical astrology didn't actually read the real-time positions of the planets in the sky when I was born or anybody else was born, right? So this whole perspective is a big shift, right? We're going from, using myself as an example, viewing myself as a Gemini sun and my Mercury in Gemini to being a Taurus sun and a Taurus Mercury, right? It's a wild ride, and one which I think is worth documenting and sharing with you, because perhaps you too are here because you're finding yourself looking at this stark difference and wondering like what's right for you and what's not right for you. Now, this is a reminder that this channel is not here to convince anyone to leave behind Western tropical astrology. However, it is to highlight my leaving behind of Western tropical astrology. From my opinion and my lens, I feel like it is completely inaccurate for how I feel and perceive the world and the energies. And what's interesting, because as of, prior to January, I didn't even know what true sidereal astrology was. I had no idea. But if you watch my work for the years, probably the last 5 years at least, maybe even 7, I've been really speaking out in a way that is contrary to the typical love and light community. I pick up information much different. I see where we're headed as a global community and the energies that we're working with much different than what a lot of the love and light community says and even Western astrology says. So today I'm going to focus on Pluto. Now, there's been, if you are on Facebook or social media at all, there's been mass posts, mass sharing about, oh, yay, we are now entering a new age, not a new age, but kind of, right? Where Pluto has now entered in Aquarius, things are going to start changing. We're entering into this real air-based, dream-like, new thought era for humanity in the next 20 years, right? That's how long Pluto will be in its transition sign. So for those of us who follow true sidereal astrology, we know, based on where Pluto actually is in the sky, like right now, Pluto is not in Aquarius right now. It's not in Aquarius. Pluto right now just entered into Capricorn. And Pluto will be, and I'm talking real-time sky here, okay, like right now. If you look at the planet Pluto, it is in Capricorn. And it will be there for the next 20 years. So from the true sidereal perspective, we are entering into a 20-year cycle of Pluto being in Capricorn. And my video today, I'm going to be talking about how to navigate and move from that perspective. So if you believe that Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, that's absolutely fine. This video likely isn't going to be for you. If, however, you're interested and you're curious about like, okay, what does the energies look like if Pluto is in Capricorn, which it is, because we can just look in the sky. There's many apps out there that we can look at that will tell us and show us that, yes, indeed, Pluto is actually in Capricorn. If you're curious about what that may look like, that's what this video is about, okay? And that's what I'm going to dig into today. So from my perspective and the true sidereal perspective, Pluto entering into Capricorn the next 20 years, what does that mean? So I'm going to tap in, zone in to that is fact. That is where I'm putting my focus. So remember my disclaimer, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't care what you think. This is from my perspective, okay? So Pluto entering into Capricorn for the next 20 years. This is the time for us to individually build ourselves, to use that Capricorn energy to act as the building blocks to decide and build what it is our true energy, our true heart, our true soul wants to build. So I believe that these next 20 years aren't about like waiting for systems to change or waiting for like everything to shift. It is about, as the chaos is happening around us, which is going to continue, and when I say chaos, I'm talking about governments, I'm talking about different nations, even races, even religions. We're going to see a lot of this stuff playing out from the perspective of Pluto being in Capricorn and my predictions for, the past however long. This is going to play out. So the challenge is going to be, can you maintain your energy, your drive, your vision, and create in these next 20 years. These next 20 years are about us individually creating what it is we're here to create on planet Earth that's going to hold and sustain in 20 years when Pluto enters Aquarius, the new systems coming in. If, for example, the new systems were to come in right now, we are not on a collective level and an individual level, we are not built to hold and sustain these energies. We just can't. And unfortunately, much of the new age, new earth, ascension group and community has no solid foundation. These are, and for many of them, people that are floating in the sky, waiting, hoping, disassociated from their physical bodies and their physical realities. So from my perspective and how I pick it up and I view this Capricorn energy is, let's use it to build. Let's use these next 20 years to build something on planet Earth. And when I say planet Earth, I'm saying here in our communities, in our, wherever it is in the world we are. It doesn't have to be global. It can even be in our home. Let's build new structures in ourself. And let's build new structures in our family, in our communities that, again, like I said before, can uphold the new energies when they come in. Everything has to shake up, and it hasn't shaken up this much. And I know that it feels like it has. Whatever's happening right now between Israel and Gaza, like we know what's happening there. And for many of us, we're like, oh, that's it. Like, this is it. No, it's not it. This is the beginning. This process of what's been happening in our world that we're not even aware of has been silently brewing and building for quite some time. And I've used this analogy before, and I'm going to use it again. When you're boiling a pot and it bubbles so much, right? And it's boiling over, right? That's what's happening. It's beginning to, the lid can't hold it anymore. It's coming out and it's coming, outwards. So that's what humanity's in, is it's bubbling and the lid's coming off. And we have to pull the lid off. And when you pull the lid off, what happens? It is a giant mess. We are not in a position to have that mess. Like, there's no bypassing, guys. And that's really, and I feel the true sidereal perspective. When I found this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, right? Because when I shifted my lens from this Western tropical viewpoint of myself and the world to, what was actually happening in the sky. There was a stability that I felt, and I'm not alone in this. This is many people who have found True Sidereal Astrology have found a peace inside of them, a peace in their energy, a peace in understanding the true energies that they're working with and that they've come in with, right? So this Pluto transition into Capricorn, I really feel it's about us taking the high octaves of Capricorn and building and creating with them, right? Many of us, like you and me, right? We've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of personal work, spiritual work, and now it's time for us to do the work on the physical plane. And I have something to say here that may call out a lot of people. And hey, I've been in this situation too. If we are not self-sustainable, and what I mean by self-sustainable, if we are relying on other people to support us financially, if we're relying on government payments to support us financially, if we're relying on anything external from what we've built and what we've created, we are not free. We have not ascended. We haven't actually figured out much other than how to bypass. So many people in this community, in the spiritual community, and maybe not in this community, but you're going to resonate with, it's true. We all know it's true. If we've been in the spiritual world, we know that, someone's sitting in their parents' basement professing this new earth reality and how everything's happening and coming. And, 3 years later, they're still in their parents' basement. Nothing has happened. Nothing is going to happen until all these people who are quote unquote awoke or awake or aware start building on this planet Earth. And it's hard. I'm going to be straight up with you, because if we've been led to believe that we've ascended and now this new earth is coming upon us and we're just going to have opportunities fall upon us, it's not like that. And if you're someone professing this and you're still in the same circumstance that you've been in for the last years, 2 years, where you're reliant on external energies, you got to go back to the drawing board and figure stuff out, right? You don't have to. But if you want to actually build and utilize to build the new earth, you must do this, right? And again, this might not be popular with many people, but I think about it like this. I've been stuck. I was stuck in, the spiritual community of, oh yeah, right, it's coming. No, it's not. And I knew we're not even close, guys, to new earth. We're close to having enough self-awareness and understanding that we can begin to create the foundation and the base for it on a practical level. We don't get to escape the practical world, guys. Like, I don't know how to say that. And the whole Western tropical astrology saying that Pluto is in Aquarius, right, when it's not even in Aquarius, creates the perfect bypassing energy. And again, I've said this in other videos, if I were people up, above making decisions and looking down at the common people, I'd be like, yeah, I want these people to believe this is happening. Because if they believe it's happening and operating like it's happening and they're not actually doing anything, I'm still in control. I'm pulling the strings. They think they've gone somewhere that they haven't actually gone, and we can continue to do what it is we're doing, and they don't even know. It's like the perfect guys, right? And again, I'm not trying to convince you. If you're here, it's because you resonate with it, right? You can feel it. It's correct. So this next 20 years for myself, right? It's about building. I'm going to be building, sharing, growing what it is I'm doing on my farm, on the land, what it is I'm doing with this channel, what it is I'm doing with my soul doll business, right? Taking something from the ground and growing it, going through the pain, going through the questions, going through the doubt, going through the imposter syndrome, going through all of those things. So if we think, you guys, that we just get to float by all that and we don't have to go through that, we're wrong. We're wrong. And that's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to spend this next 20 years really building and looking for a long-term vision and making steps bit by bit by bit by bit to growing myself. We are still in this reality. We are still working in the parameters of this reality. If you look at some of the big people, love and light people, Rebecca Campbell, you know, those kind of people, right? Which I follow none of them. I have no interest in any of their work. I think most of it's false light. Anyways, you look at them and they're talking about all these higher spiritual principles, all of this. They are some of the most on the ground in the quote unquote matrix people that you could imagine. They follow the systems, they follow the rules, they've built, you know, they've built their big platform by going through all the steps, just as you're going to have to if you have some sort of vision or you have some sort of drive to build something here on planet Earth. Now, are we going to see things crumble and change? Yeah, we are. But it's going to be very different than I think what a lot of us know. So right now, the whole thing happening over in the Middle East, what's happening is people are now coming out of their boxed reality, their programmed reality that only I matter, that my faith is the only faith that exists, to understanding that we have a whole picture. We have a whole world of people who want to see this world go in a different direction. People who want to take over, to control, right? All the religious ideologies, especially the monotheistic ones, and I don't need to name them, you know them, right? Guess what? They all want dominant control of the world. That's a problem, you guys. And you think that that's just going to go away because Pluto's in Aquarius and we're going to just ascend? No. We got 20 years of HE double hockey sticks as these people fight and work their way out. And in the end, they're going to come to the conclusion that, yeah, we have to get along, that we are all one, that we are, you know, here to create, but it's not going to happen till our children are big. It's not going to happen. I guarantee you that. So, what do we do in this energy? Well, you can take what I said in this video. We can use it to build ourselves, to build our families, to build on an individual level. What we do individually, and then what we do in our family, what we do in our community, and then what we do globally. It is all it all blends together and works together. So we can't bypass a step. We can't bypass our personal work and only do community and global. We can't do just global. Do you get what I'm saying? It's on all levels. And I really feel, and I know that there's some of you who really feel confirmation when I'm sharing this message, that it's time. So if this means going to school, if this means stepping at like what seems like going backwards to the beginning, I'm telling you, you have time. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Okay? If you're going to just sit and wait for something to be different and watch these tarot readings and these people talk about how you're a divine being and you're ascending and everything's going to be great for you and it's almost time, years are going to go by and you're going to be stuck in the same position. You got to exit that. And the only way to exit it is to look at the reality of your physical world situation and work on that. That is the most important thing. And I'm not speaking as someone who's exempt from that. I'm in that same process. I'm constantly doing that as well. This is the most important realm. This is the most important time to build and even we think Capricorn, right? The energy of Capricorn. Whatever BS is in the way, whatever patterns we have that are blocking us, right? That are blocking us from building and moving forward, we need to address them. Just as that Capricorn energy would. They're not going to hide from them. Capricorn energy is not going to bypass. It's going to look at them. It's going to face. It's going to even accept consequence. Right? A lot of the spiritual community wants to just be like, no, there's no consequence. Everything's fine. And I don't mean consequence as punishment, but consequence of moving through the difficult things. Going back to 0 point and humbly saying, holy crap, I've been sitting here doing nothing for how long? I've got a mess that I need to unwind from, and I'm going to start here at this point. That's what's being called of us. That is what the energies of the true alignment of the planets is calling us to do. That is what Pluto is asking us to do. Bring death to patterns that don't serve you. Bring death to bypassing. And even, in Capricorn, that Capricorn energy is right here. Come right here. Build from right here. Okay? So I think I'm going to wrap up this video. It's been about 20 minutes. I hope I said everything that I wanted to say. It's always my intention to let the message come out and be shared as it's meant to. And really, honestly, if I'm really honest with you, whenever I do a video like this, I feel nervous, right? My chest hurts a little bit because I know I'm saying things that are against what is typical of my community. I know I'm doing that, and it's not easy. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is so fun and I love, telling people they're wrong and bringing people to, like, I don't love it. I don't love it. But I know that if I'm stuck, I'm looking, please tell me what you know. If you know something or you figured something out, please share it with me. Please share it with me, even if it's difficult. And even if I don't agree, please share it anyways. If I don't agree, I don't agree. That's okay. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. But I'm telling you, right here, right? It's not that it hurts, but it's like there's this part of me, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I'm telling you that even this whole true sidereal astrology thing, like Pluto right now up in the sky is in Capricorn. It's not in Aquarius. And that's why this channel is so important to me. When I was born onto this planet, the sun wasn't in Gemini, it was in Taurus. So what I was believing previously, right, up until, the end of December, beginning of January, right, wasn't correct. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. If you watch my previous videos, I've had to sit with some pretty hard feelings and some pretty hard decisions of deciding if I want to let go of a certain perception that I've had of myself in the world. Am I willing to do that? Not easy. So I know that hearing what I'm saying might not be easy, right? And you are free to do whatever you want. I'm not saying that, but I know there's some of you who are like, thank God she's speaking. Thank God she's saying this. And yeah, I know I need to do this. If what I'm speaking is true for you, you're going to know it. You're going to feel it. You're going to know shit. Like, I need to get myself together. I need to make some hard calls, some big decisions. I need to break out of this, whatever this is, right? And I'm telling you, you can do it. I'm telling you. And what is difficult isn't bad. What is difficult is the transformation. What is difficult is Pluto. And just to share with you guys, I have Pluto in my first house. So that Pluto energy, that death, rebirth, transformation, oh man, do I know it. It's like through my blood, through my bones, through my soul. It's hard. But there's something rewarding. There's something that gets lifted off of us each time we allow ourselves to go through a transformation that's aligned to us. There's something that happens. We elevate. Our soul comes closer to spirit, to God, to source, and we get there. But if we resist that and we stay in illusion, and we're disconnected, when I say disconnected, what ends up happening, especially in the spiritual community in love and light, is they're like out here and they're tapping into the ethers, but their body and their energy isn't moving in the right direction. And I speak to someone like Rebecca Campbell. I listen to what she says. Sounds beautiful. I can feel her, I can feel that. I look at her body and I'm like, girl, I'm not listening to anything you're saying. Your body's out of whack. Your energy's not aligned. You are not grounding in what you're teaching. And I don't mean to call you out. Rebecca Campbell, you can handle that because you are big and you got your thing. You don't care. You can handle it. Okay. But again, I'm just saying, if we want to be fully integrated, we have to do the hard work. We have to take responsibility for what is right for us and what's not wrong, what's wrong for us, and where we're falling short. And again, it's always worth it. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video today. Please like it, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you watch this video and you're like, girl, I don't like anything you're saying, you're wrong, that's fine as well. But I'm here and I'm sharing my truth. So thank you for witnessing me in that, and have the most beautiful day, evening, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.